Hello, we are the SpaceX fans and welcome to the SpaceX Show, the place where you can stay up to date with everything SpaceX. Starting today, we'll look at some Starlink information including the delayed Starlink 12 launch. Then we have infrastructure and Starship information in Boca Chica, including more delays with SN7.1 which is destined to be destroyed. Let's head straight in and get up to date. On Thursday, shortly before they were expected to launch the next Starlink mission, SpaceX tweeted that they were standing down. They also said that this was due to recovery issues and that they would be targeting Friday. Everyday Astronaut tweeted asking if this was the first scrub due to recovery issues. Musk responded to say that the current was too strong for the drone ship. He added that they would be upgrading the thrusters for future missions. Later in the day, SpaceX tweeted that they would also be postponing the launch on Friday too. They said it was due to severe weather in the recovery area which would persist for a couple more days. We have yet to hear about the new launch date. Another tweet that they posted on Thursday was that the Starlink 12 mission will use a fairing half that flew twice before on other Starlink missions. I also want to tell you which booster will be used for this mission, and as you can see on the SpaceX fans website, it's B1058. The booster will be flying for the third time. In another tweet, this time from Jonathan McDowell, he said that a load of Starlink satellites re-entered recently. These were version 0.9 satellites, and apparently from the original batch, 26 remain operating, 26 have been deorbited and 8 are decaying. Whilst indirectly related to SpaceX, there's some interesting news about another civilian launch. Apparently there will be a reality TV show called Space Hero where the winning contestant will win an awesome prize. They will get a seat aboard a mission to the ISS in 2023. As of yet, no launch provider has been selected, but I'm hoping it will be SpaceX. With those updates covered, we'll see what's been going on in Boca Chica, starting with the arrival of this huge new tank to the launch area. The other launch site activity is with SN7.1, which we'll see in a bit. For now though, the high bay is still progressing nicely. With not much longer before it's complete, you'll see in a moment that its first guest has already entered. Just in front of the high bay entrance, some concrete was being poured recently. SpaceX have recently taken delivery of a new red crane, as you can see here. It was also spotted being assembled over near the production area. Moving on, we have some bits and pieces of Starships to look at before we see the serial numbers. Firstly, there is a new common bulkhead section to separate the liquid oxygen and methane tanks. This section was seen on the sleeving mount after having been sleeved not long ago. Then it was hooked up to a crane so that it can be lifted and flipped so it's in the correct orientation. Also spotted sitting outside is an interestingly built thrust dome. The build quality of this bulkhead looks to be great, and it's built in a way that we've not seen before. Could this be for something else we've not seen before? As SpaceX continues to push forward at pace with the tanks for future Starships, those tanks also need noses. You can see that SpaceX are in the process of constructing yet another nose cone to add to the collection. This also means they need more components for future tanks as well. You can see a new downcomer was spotted arriving. Also on the back of this trailer were some legs. Whilst it's not clear what serial number these are for, I want to say maybe SN11. The nose cone and other components have recently been moved back into fabrication tents. Looking at the Starship tanks now, first off we have SN5, which was recently placed on the roll lift. When something gets placed on the roll lift, it's definitely going somewhere, and so SN5 was. As I said earlier, the high bay already has its first visitor, as SN5 was seen being moved over to and inside the high bay. Looks like it's also got its second occupant, as SN6 was also spotted rolled into the new high bay. Just look at this shot and put into perspective how big those super heavy boosters will be. As you will likely know, the next test tank is SN7.1, and after having done a series of cryo tests recently, they are now wanting to raise the pressure to the point of failure. The tank was seen hooked up to a crane in order for it to be lifted and placed back on the transport mount. So in order to set it free from the pad beam mount, engineers were seen cutting away at where it's connected. Then, over the course of a night, SpaceX executed the lift to place SN7.1 back on its less complex mount. With them having just got everything ready on the launch mount, presumably for future hops, the last thing they want to do is damage anything. The tank was seen sitting on its mount as it waited for what we were hoping would be its final test on Thursday through to Friday. So, early in the morning on Friday, SpaceX began preparing the tank and presumably filling it with liquid nitrogen. At some point, they closed off the valves up top, which usually indicates that they are beginning to raise the pressure. However, once cars started arriving at the pad, it was evident that they had scrubbed. Later, engineers were seen inspecting the vehicle, and thanks to Jack Byers' editing, you can see the parts that they were looking at. As per last episode, they have backup dates of Monday and Tuesday to do the pressure test to failure. As SN8 and SN9 get worked on together in the mid-bay, you can see SN8 has got its upper aero surface covers already. Just to put this in here, we have the latest SN8 build diagram thanks to Brendan Lewis. Last episode we saw a lot of action with the SN9 prototype, including some stacking. Here you can see that missing ring stack for the thrust section. You can see this engine skirt has lead-ins as it's prepared for stacking soon, and it also has its legs already attached. There's also the SN9 upper bulkhead for the methane tank that was spotted just inside a tent already with Tesla batteries and other components. As always, here is the latest build diagram for SN9 with the addition of the aft ring stack. The final piece to show is SN10 as its common dome section, which we recently saw sleeved, was seen sitting outside still. Of course, we have to say a massive thanks to Mary or Boca Chica gal for going out there and filming this amazing footage. Also, a massive thanks to the rest of the NASA spaceflight team who do amazing work behind the scenes, particularly with their live streams. That's it for this episode of the SpaceX Show. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and leave a comment down below. If you want to stay updated with SpaceX info, make sure to subscribe and press the bell icon to get notified when I upload. Thanks for watching and have a great day.